What is the saddest death of a fictional character? For me at this time, Ignacio Nacho Varga, from Better Call Saul. We all knew it was coming, but had me sobbing for a good few minutes. I did not expect him to go out the way he did, but it makes it worse. I also was very upset when Howard died. Wrong place, wrong time. He did not deserve almost all the treatment he got in the show. I'm sure there are many other who may be sadder to me than this, but these are the recent ones that got me. Showing my age here, but pretty much all the main and supporting character deaths on the West Wing. People talk about John Spencer's character and how it hits because the actor's death changed the ending of the series. Or Simon because of tragic love. But Molly's death hit me when it first aired and still does. Mrs. Landingham for sure. Fitz Wallace. Sorkin knew how to do it right, from the character depth to the mood music. One that hit me so hard I was ugly crying for hours was a body episode from Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Her mother passes. The messed up part is my mom died a year earlier and I was watching the show from a friend's suggestion and they never told me it was gonna happen. I still have not watched the episode since, and it's been 16 years now. 3 nights in a row in the theater, watching The English Patient. I started sobbing when Almasy carried Catherine out of the cave of swimmers, and continued through to when Hannah puts Almasy out of his misery. Nothing before or since has affected me like that. You young folks ought to watch it. Crying face. Stoic the Vast How to Train Your Dragon. Dude literally just reunited with his wife after over 15 years of being gone and spends a total of about 15 minutes with her. Cause of death: basically took a bullet in the chest to protect his son. Thomas J. Where's his glasses? He can't see without his glasses. That one line made me break into tears. Her delivery of that whole breakdown scene was so well done. If you haven't watched My Girl 1991 yet, please do. It's absolutely amazing. Zack Fair's death made me cry, because it still makes you fight the Shinra troops while he's actively dying. And then the DMW cutscenes kicking all broken up. His scene with Cloud is sweet, but the whole thing just makes me emotional. Adriana's death and everything that happened to her leading up to her death in Sopranos was honestly hard to watch. Just a dumb girl who fell in love with the wrong guy and became friends with the wrong girl. Man, the first thing that came to mind was Michael Clarke Duncan's death in The Green Mile. I don't cry much, but fuck, this one had me choked up. Edit had to look up the character's name. John Coffey, Neil Perry in Dead Poets Society. I remember watching this as a 13-14-year-old in the cinema, trying to hide my tears and then realizing that the older teenage boys next to me cried as well. Ace from JLA is a good one. Knows she's dying and just asks Batman to sit next to her till she passes, briefly sharing each other's childhood traumas that made them who they were. Basically every named character death in Cyberpunk Edge Runners. It's kind of actually hard to pick one. Rebecca and David have to be the top contenders, though. I would say the first time Vegeta died, since it was the first time he cried and let everything out, but the Dragon Balls ruined the deaths. I gotta go with Jiraiya. The actual event of Peter Quill's death in Homeland was sad because of how he was completely fucked over an extended period of time. His death was sad in its relief. I just watched the Nacho shoot himself earlier today for the first time. Fucked me up. So sad for him. He's one of my favorite in the whole Breaking Bad universe. Every time I watch the Deathly Hallows Part 2, seeing Snape die hits pretty hard. Then I remember Alan Rickman actually passed away too, and it hits harder. I really was heartbroken over the death of Winnie Foster and Chuck Everlasting. I haven't read the book since then in grade school, but I think I will. Llewellyn Moss. Dude escaped Anton and even went head-to-head injuring him, but got killed in a cheap motel by random unnamed cartel dudes. Earth will no longer talk. No longer laugh. Get about are we supposed to do? Whose death in the Hunger Games, book and movie, but especially book, brings me to tears every time, without fail. It's been forever and I don't remember her name, but that girl from Bridge to Terabithia demolished me in my teens. Cherry on China caught me off guard when she was killed. Second to that would be Henry Blake on MASH. Trip Tucker from Star Trek Enterprise near the end of the series. His death seems so unnecessary to the plot. Optimus Prime's in the 1980s Transformers movie. It became a cliche after a while, but that hit hard as a kid. He may have been your father, boy, but he wasn't your daddy. Dude, oh my god, I'm fucking bawling right now. Kelsier's death in Mistborn book series, such a badass way to go, but still heartbreaking all the same. Hard. Shocked that Tony Stark isn't here yet. I still can't watch the ending of Endgame without blubbering. Kanan Jarrus from Rebels. I lost my way for a long time. But now I have a chance to change things. The Dog and I Am Legend. Can't believe nobody has mentioned it. That was fucking heart-wrenching. Mine is either George O'Malley from Grey's Anatomy or Charlie from Lost. Not Penny's boat. Hold the door, hold the door, hold the door, hold door, hold door, ha door, ho door. When Eddie, Jake and Ollie walked into the clearing on the way to the Dark Tower, anyone saying anything other than the girl from Bridge to Terabithia is wrong. Bob Newby from Stranger Things. Years later, and I'm still upset about it. Glenn in the Walking Dead series. Lee Everett in TWD Telltale. Arthur Morgan. Or Morden Solis. It's such a toss-up between those two. Hobbit spoilers. Thorin, Feely, and Keely's deaths in the third movie. I'd give I can name just one, but Noble Sixes is probably up there. Sirius and Harry Potter. Such a great father figure to Harry. I mean, that one shrimp guy from Forrest Gump was kinda sad. Joyce on Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Tara close second. Beth in Little Women. Matthew and Anne of Green Gables. Crying face. Kenny. It's like I kept seeing it over and over again. Charlotte, no one was with her when she died. Sheesh. The mission. The nightmares. They're finally over. You were fantastic. And you know what? So was I. Frank Grimes, or Grimy, as he liked to be called. Art Axel Horse and Never Ending Story. That was hard. Bridge to Terabithia messed me up in middle school.